Welcome to my channel. My name's Patty. Today I'm going to do a what sold video. I picked out a few items from eBay, Poshmark and Mercari that I had sold. I didn't sell too many on Poshmark or Mercari. However, eBay is my favorite platform, and I do want to start listing more though on Poshmark and Mercari. I'm going to share some of my most recent sales I had on eBay, Poshmark and Mercari. This vintage Vanity Fair slip. I knew as soon as I seen the flower pattern on it that it would be a quick sale. This one sold for me for $36.99 and I paid $4 for that. I sold this hat for $19.99. This I paid 50 cents or $1, and I sold these vintage Millefiori micro mosaic earrings. These I had listed for $19.99 and I took a best offer of $16.99 on these. Vintage Jerry Elsner real fur cat. As soon as I seen it, I knew this would sell. I did some research on it. It's not marked anywhere, but as soon as I picked up this plush, I paid $4 for it and I sold it for $154.99. It sold in less than 5 minutes. As soon as I listed it, I knew it was going to sell fast. I didn't realize it was going to sell that fast, but I had a feeling it was going to sell very fast. I did some really good pictures on it, and yeah, it sold within 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes, I think. This 14-karat gold mom pendant, this sold for $16.99. That was purchased in a jewelry lot. This Coach heart necklace, this sold for $16.99. Again, this was in a jewelry lot, and this was, I took a best offer. Anchor earrings sold for $7.99. I took a best offer. These Jockey Classics men's underwear, these I paid $3 a pack. I sold these for $19.99. This vintage Berkshire floral scarf, this sold for $14.99. Got a whole bunch of stuff for, I think it was $5 a bag deal, so I threw these in the bag. So this genuine Australian opal necklace, this sold for $19.99. This Jeep Cherokee rear hatch latch, this sold for $30. This was my last one I had. I think we had like 5 of them, and these all sold within the last 2 months. Crazy. But that one sold for $30, so that was here. This Blair half slip, this was a size 3XL. This one sold for $14.99. Purchased this. This was in, went to an estate sale, and I got a whole bunch of stuff, and this was in it. These Lady Morgan vintage panties, these sold for $10.99. This vintage cloisonne bunny necklace, this was so pretty, it was different, it was very different. This sold for $54.99. Buyer was happy with it. That came in a jewelry bundle. These vintage hoop earrings, these were from the 80s. I did put that in this description. These sold for $7.99. A few packs of these Smart and Sexy thong underwear. These ones I'm going to share. This person purchased 2 packs. They sold for $29.98. This Jeep Cherokee XJ dual windshield washer container. I forget the name of it. That sold for $49.99. 24-karat gold plated brooch. This sold for $19.99. This vintage flower pendant, this sold for $14.99. Remember, all the jewelry came in a jewelry lot. These little vintage craft angels. Some of the angel things, some of the wings were off, some of them. They still sold for $7.99. I actually had a couple watchers on these over time. These were shipped, I didn't want the little wings, they were really fragile. Didn't want them to break off, so they were sandwiched between 2 pieces of cotton, and I had a little acrylic container, so I just put them in there, put them in the envelope, and shipped them off. In a jewelry lot. Also, this Holly Ross 22-karat gold plated vase. This was free. I had this here. This sold for $24.99. This vintage plaid red shorts. I put Y2K in the title. Not sure if it helped. I'm sure it helped it a little bit, but I had probably 12 to 14 watchers on these, and these eventually sold for $19.99 with a best offer. These vintage silky stockings, sold a lot of them for $7.99. They were in a big bundle of other stockings that I had bought. This vintage enamel bee pin, she just opened up a return on it yesterday. She just changed her mind, so that'll be coming back to me, no problem. So it's not gonna affect my account in any way. She didn't want it anymore. It was something different that she was looking for. This men's Hilti Tool shirt, this sold for $12.99. I took a best offer from $19.99. This vintage letter R, $9.99. This Judith Ripka faceted, not sure what kind of stone it is, just a black stone in there. Judith Ripka sterling silver black pendant. This sold for $64.99. And here's the thing with this, for the longest time I had this listed for $19.99. And I don't know why. The one day I was going through my listings, checking things out, and I looked at it, and I looked over the listing, and I thought, listing, and check this out. See if I could find out more about it. Even though I did before, it took me a while, but I found out it was a Judith Ripka, the little design that was on it. I couldn't find it before when I looked at it. So when I found that out, I listed it, and it did sell for $64.99. Magic comb, this sold for $5.99. It was in one of those lots, one of those jewelry lots. These clip-on earrings, these sold for $15. This vintage tablecloth. This was a vinyl tablecloth. It sold for $24.99. This vintage Layette little trinket box. This had the cutest little bunny on it. This sold for $12.99. These little summer pins. These sold for $10.99. This little lot of jewelry, a bead from Bead Gallery, and some other, it's a mixed lot of beads. Jewelry making supplies. This sold for $16.99. These were in a jewelry lot. Vintage JJ Green Frog. This sold for $10.99. I had the little googly eyes. I did put that in the title. This shell bracelet. This was pretty. This sold for $10.99. In the title, I put beach, shore, vacation, summer. These up at the thrift store. These are Faded Glory. These ones, they were having a sale this day, and it was a bag sale. And I did see that the tags were still on these. So this is the only reason I did put them in my bag, but they did sell for $16.99. This little pressed glass bowl, this sold for $10.99. This was free. I got 14 or 15 huge boxes of all kinds of glass last year, and yeah, all of it for free. Don't be afraid to ship glass, you get used to it after a while. You get the hang of it. And this Hurlbut Story of the Bible, this one I think was free. This sold for $24.99. This On Lily's Studio necklace, this sold for $9.99. This Vintage Moda International loungewear set, this was like an extra small, I think. This sold for $20. This Jeep Cherokee door opener, this sold for $36.99. Easter Bunny, this sold for $14.99, and that went internationally. These vintage seashell earrings, these ones I had quite a few watchers, I think, because you could tell they were made good. They sold for $10.99, but they were metal. They were nice earrings. This Halloween hat, this sold for $17.99 and nowhere near Halloween. Bosun 600-watt dimmable baluster. This sold for $59.99. These Joe Boxer panties, these sold for $14.99, and I think I paid $4 a pack for them. I did have these marked up, but I just want to get some stuff sold. This Alien plush, this sold for $12.99. I probably paid $1 for this, or less than $1. This little Budweiser bottle cap pin, it did light up. This sold for $7.99, but it didn't work. I did have that in the listing, but it didn't work. These Kate Spade earrings, these sold for $10.99. This little pansy pin, this one sold for $9.99. Pacific metal, World War II metal, this sold for $10.99. This vintage Lorraine half slip, $11.99. I got that in a lot with other slips. This Lauren Conrad mother of pearl necklace is sold for $9.99. Again, these I probably pay a dime, 5 cents, 10 cents a quarter, if that, on some of this jewelry that I list. The Violator Spawn clown, this sold for $10.99, probably 50 cents. I don't know. I got it in a lot. This wine corkscrew bottle opener, I sold this for $7.99. This Dove cuff bracelet, sold that for $10.99. A lot of bread and butter item here, but I don't mind. Especially when I'm paying not a lot of money for this stuff. This yellow Sunburst Creek earrings, these sold for $12.99. This vintage letter and brooch, this sold for $12.99. This red Jeep, this sold for $19.99, and I think I paid $2 for that. This vintage summer Didnt flannel shirt. This was short sleeve, but it was twill, and I did put twill in the listing. This sold right away. Like it sold either that day or the very next day, but the brand was Gant. I don't know if it was because of the because I don't think there's a high sell-through rate. But I don't know, but it sold right away for me. This vintage potpourri pomander ornament, this sold for $19.99. This was from Avon. Some people still do collect this Avon stuff, so you know, it pays to look some of it up. And I didn't look this up. I got this for free. This was with a bunch of other Avon stuff I got. Or maybe I paid $3 for a whole bunch of it. I don't remember, but I know the person I got this stuff from, I had gotten a bunch of stuff for free from them, so I'm not sure. But there's people that still do collect Avon. They grew up with that. Not everything I'm saying, but there is still collectors of it. This vintage embroidered linen tablecloth or linen, this sold for $19.99. I got that for free. So let's go over the Poshmark and the Mercari. I sold this snowman brooch. This sold for $6. Again, that was in a jewelry lot. This sold for $9. Again, that was in a jewelry lot. This vintage two-tone brooch, this sold for $8.10. This Xbox Fallout 3 game, this sold for $13.50. Sold for $10.99. Again, that came in a jewelry lot. And let's go to POS. Long sleeve hooded shirt. This sold for $13 yesterday on Poshmark. Necklace. This sold for $12 on Poshmark. This was so pretty. This iridescent faceted glass necklace. This one sold for $26 on Poshmark. Book. This sold for $36 on Poshmark. This honeycomb necklace. This sold for $20 on Poshmark. This Premier Designs necklace. This sold for $30 on Poshmark. And these vintage door knocker earrings, these sold for $20 on Poshmark. Get those items listed.